Hi guys, welcome to the Alpha of channel. Today's video, I beg na pidgin I want you to talk this one because the way this matter been, na me and my people we guys relate, me and my fellow Nigerians more leave grammar. This Naira note matter, waiting they solve, waiting they happen. You know, say this Naira note matter, the thing don't give me better stress. Sometimes I go wake up, I will go back and go deposit the small money what I get. If I go deposit the money finish, say make I use POS will give me old Naira notes. I go still go again spend the old Naira notes. Person go give me money, I go bank, go deposit old Naira notes. Then I go still enter ATM, go withdraw money, I withdraw old Naira notes. Where the new Naira notes dey? Some people never even see this new Naira note. If you have seen this new Naira note, please leave a comment in the comment section. I think I've seen it like twice. You know, there was a time I saw it in December. Then somebody used that, gave me the 1,000 Naira of the new Naira note, and after then I have not really seen the new Naira note. Like, it is not really circulating. The old Naira note is still everywhere, and 31st is almost here, like 5 days time. Now some people are rejecting the old Naira note. I don't even know what's going on in this country. The thing is, what is really happening? This old Naira note and new Naira note matter. Why is it that it is just so urgent that we must make sure we change our money to the new Naira note? And some people are even saying that the new Naira notes are not in circulation, and some banks don't even have enough to share. So the question is, what is the government trying to do? Where is this leading us to? Is this a way the government is trying to intimidate or oppress or frustrate peaceful Nigerians? I was in the vehicle one day. I was traveling, and one woman was just complaining. Yoruba man was just shouting, "Kilo de kila shefu ìjọba tó jẹ́ pé àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù wọ́n jẹ́ ká sí mi." I mean, I don't be Yoruba, but I was not like, okay, mẹ̀kúnnù be like saying na the poor masses. Say, wetin I do government? Wetin we do? We say this government no want make we rest from PVC stress. Before you see your PVC wahala, to line up to deposit money, from lining up to deposit money to BVN, from BVN to NIN, for NIN, wetin dey happen? But you know, while all these things are happening, and I see a lot of things going on Twitter, people are writing different stuff about the Naira notes issue, whether the Naira notes issue doesn't make sense, what is the benefit of it. The old Naira notes, some of them are still minted, they are still clean, they are still new. So why is the government insisting that we begin to get a new Naira note? And while I was reading those stuff, I started thinking, one thing I've come to realize in this country, this Nigeria that we are, is that once you begin to see a lot of influencers, media organizations writing something about a particular issue, maybe negatively, consistently, you need to be very careful. You need to begin to do your own research, because this country, there is always propaganda. That was how they packaged Buhari to us. The way they were praising Buhari like it was the best thing that ever happened to this country. He's a former military man. When he comes, he's going to handle Boko Haram. He is not corrupt, my brother. Where we see corruption, even we know say something touch us. You know, Jonathan was like a devil, Buhari was like a saint. Now 8 years down the line, everybody body don't weak. So I was like, this new Naira note policy, is this beneficial to us? How does this benefit us? Is there anything that makes this good for us? And I'm sure a lot of people do not even know the benefit of the new Naira notes. Then I started doing my research, and then my brothers and my sisters, I realized that in as much as the new Naira notes, the way the government is going about it, the way they are trying to rush us to get this new Naira notes, you know, in as much as it is very fast, it is not well arranged, it is not well planned out and everything, the benefits of the new Naira notes are very, very enormous, and it is good for us to know the benefit of this new Naira notes. If I do this video of the benefit, then I'll still do another video to tell you guys the disadvantages, the reason that this thing does not make sense. But let's look at the reason that this new Naira notes make sense. But before then, let me go and drink water so that we can continue from where we are. So quickly, let's go on Twitter to see what is going on. If you search the new Naira notes on Twitter, the kind things where you go see, you go boss. You look at Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank is saying that people should do well to come and deposit money. And I heard that banks are working weekends. So if you have money, you are working and you don't have time to go to the bank on Saturday, I think the banks will be open to a particular time. Just go and deposit your money. Do everything you can. Look at this person tweet. He said, a Emefiele cashless policy approach with limited availability of new Naira notes is more of a pain in the neck of an average Nigerian than the politicians you think they are trying to oppress. If those men want 50 bags of new notes today, they know how to get it. How about you? Well, this really made a lot of sense, this tweet by Omotayo, but I'm going to touch this issue here and there and try to figure out the reason why the federal government are making all these moves based on the speech that Buhari gave recently, where he was talking about people that want to mobilize the resources and thugs to, you know, influence the election and whatever, that they should get ready because it's ready to deal with them, and the whole body language and body movement of the government, how this thing connects to this new Naira note. Somebody said many shops are closed in Kano. The ones open are not accepting old Naira notes. The old customers does not even have Naira note. Many local traders don't want transfer, they prefer cash. Public transport also is affected by this quagmire. Very good policy, terrible implementation. That's exactly what I was saying here, that the policy makes sense, is good, but the implementation so far is not good. But the question is, why are all this happening? And let's quickly, before we go far, let's quickly check some things, right? There's something I want you guys to take note of about the new Naira notes. I've not even gone to the point I want to teach. I want to talk about in this video. Make sure you watch this video from beginning to the end, because you're going to learn a lot of stuff. I want this to be very interesting, and you guys should enjoy, and leave a comment, ask me questions, and also contribute. Also teach me so that we can learn together. Now, there's something I noticed about this new Naira notes. For those of you that have not seen it, if you owe that money when you want to buy anything in the night, please on torchlight, look at it very well, because the 1000 naira and the 500 naira, they look almost alike. The 500 naira and the 200 naira, all of them are looking dull. Like me, normally, if I want to pay for stuff with the old Naira note, I know the color of the note, so I can just look at the color and I'll just make payment. But this new Naira note, you can mistakenly pay 500 for 200. So for those of you guys that have not seen it, take note. Very, very, very important, right? Now, one of the major reasons CBN decided to create this new Naira note, this is from Punch News. My source is Punch News. They said the benefits of the currency redesign to the Nigerian economy are enormous. They said this policy will help to control inflation, as the exercise will bring the hoarded currency into the banking system, thereby making monetary policy more effective. It will also help with better design and implementation of monetary policy, so that we'll have much more accurate data on money supply and monetary aggregates. Now, the thing is, there is a lot of nairas that have been printed that are not circulating, and because of that, it has led to inflation. Now, one of the reasons the nairas are not circulating is that some people are not taking their money to the bank, because when you take money to the bank and other people come to withdraw, the bank is going to give you money, so the money keeps circulating. If you're using the money for business and stuff, some people are carrying this money, keeping them in their house, keeping them under the ground, keeping them under the bed. You know, there are many times EFCC will go and search a particular building and they'll see millions of nairas buried somewhere, and this money are not circulating. Nobody is using it. So because of this new policy, what is going on now, that they are changing the Naira notes. Now, what is going to happen is that for you that have Naira note that you have hidden somewhere, if you don't bring out that money, or you take it to the bank, or you share it to people, or you do something with that money becomes useless. It's now nothing but a paper that doesn't have any value. So CBN, one of the moves they did was to control inflation and make sure they bring all the money that people have been hiding. All those politicians that have been stealing money, people that are doing illegal things, kidnappers that will kidnap you and they will collect money of ransom in cash. All those money they are hiding, they are stocking somewhere, they should bring it. And the beautiful thing is that once you begin to start bringing huge amount of money and depositing in the bank, the CBN, the banks begins to take notes, and there's a kind of amount of deposit you want to do that they'll start alerting EFCC, because it could be leading to what they call this thing, money laundering kind of situation, because there's an amount of money you're not supposed to keep. So when you are bringing huge amount of money to the bank, there's a red flag. You need to explain the source of your money, where you got this money from, how this kind of money is in your hand. And a lot of politicians that have been gathering money for election, that they want to share 10,000, 5,000. This change of money policy is supposed to frustrate them, because the money they've been gathering now, they have to find a way to either return the money to the bank, dispose the money, do something about the money. Because if they are planning to use this money in February, by January 31st, if Emefiele stands strong on this new Naira notes implementation, I bet you that what is going to happen is that money will be very useless. So now, look at this. They said a significant hoarding of bank notes by members of the public, with statistics showing that 2.72 trillion out of 3.26 trillion currency in circulation as of June 2022 was outside the vaults of commercial banks across the country. Look at this. Now, CBN printing 3.26 trillion currency in circulation, and the ones that are hidden are 2.72, which means 84% of the money that are supposed to be in circulation is hiding somewhere. The banks don't have access to it. Only 50%, you understand, that in the central bank and the commercial bank vaults. The question is, where is the remaining 84.71%? Where are people hiding this money? Who are the people keeping this money? Now, with this situation, changing the notes entirely will make people that are keeping the money to bring the money from wherever the money is. And this is going to help CBN to have more accurate data on money supply and monetary aggregates. Now, this is one reason why the change of the Naira note is very important. So guys, there was an article I was reading that they were talking about that it is in the right of the government to change the Naira notes, the government that is controlling, to change the Naira notes in the period of 8 years and above. And Buhari said for a while, I think almost 20 years, that the Naira note has not been changed, and because of that they decided to change the Naira note. And one of the benefits of this is simply because changing the note is going to help reduce counterfeit and fake currencies. Yes, it's going to help reduce counterfeit and fake currencies, which is something that's very good for the country, right? It's going to reduce counterfeit and fake currencies because a lot of people that have figured out how to create the Naira note, the fake one, now they have to go back and start figuring out or trying to find a way to now start making this new Naira notes, because this is end of business for them, at least temporarily. And this new Naira note has a lot of security stuff and a lot of things that can make you to know the original from the counterfeit one. I won't be delving to that area. There's something also that is very important for us to take note of. Because of the CBN cashless policy they are trying to push, there was a time the CBN government made the Naira. They've been trying to force people to start going more cashless, reducing the amount of money they are withdrawing on counter, start using more of transfers rather than doing banks and carrying cash around, and then they realize that a lot of Nigerians prefer cash. Some people do not even want to do business using transfers and operating in the cashless space. So because of that, CBN started bringing a lot of rules and bringing a lot of policies that can make people to start adopting the cashless thing by fire by force. For example, one thing they did was that they said henceforth you have a limited amount of money you can withdraw from the counter. I think is you cannot withdraw more than 100,000 naira in a week. You cannot withdraw more than 100,000 naira in a week. And if you want to withdraw more than 100,000 naira in a week on counter, you need to fill some forms and do a lot of frustrating things for you to withdraw huge amount of money. So that way they are limiting the amount of money you are withdrawing on counter. If you go to ATM, there's the amount of withdrawal you can do in a day. This is going to help people adopt more to the digital way of doing transaction, and it's going to reduce kidnapping and all these insecurity issues that if kidnappers know that when they kidnap you cannot even bring cash, that is going to reduce the whole kidnapping thing. So this kind of stuff, yeah, they make sense. But then another thing I'm saying is that beyond this, the election is playing a major role in all this movement. Look at this video, guys. For those of you that have not seen this video, see this video quickly. President Muhammadu Buhari is talking about the Naira note redesign and why the CBN is not going back, and the reason why they are insisting that this thing must be implemented on the 31st of January. I've said something concerning it. Just watch this video and you will understand that this is beyond. In as much as the idea is good, the reason they are enforcing it now like this is simply because there's something that is playing on the background politically. Listen to this.
So this change of currency, I think there will be people a lot of money, but time has been given from October to December. 3 months is enough, whatever money you have, to get it changed through a legal system. So I don't know why people are complaining about it.
So despite the complaint, there's no going back on the policy?
No, there's no going back. There's no going back. My aim is to make sure that Nigerians believe that we respect them as an administration. So Nigerians should vote for whoever they like from whichever party. Nobody will be allowed to mobilize resources and thugs to intimidate people in any constituency.
Now look at this, Now, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, listen, he is the number one person in the country. Apart from that, he is under the party of the APC, the All Progressive Congress. If you follow the build up to the election, Buhari was not directly in support of Tinubu emerging as the presidential flag bearer, because there was a time that they said the president recommended Ahmed Lawan, which is the Senate president, to be the flag bearer of the APC, which some APC governors kicked against, and he now said they should do the primaries. Anybody that wins is going to go on to support. By the end of the day, Ahmed Lawan did not win, Oshibajo did not win, Rotimi Amechi did not win, and it was Tinubu. And for some reason, Buhari has not been supporting Tinubu like the way he's supposed to support Tinubu, based on the way Tinubu supported Buhari to power. Something that I noticed is that even at a point, Tinubu had to, when he was in Ogun State, start shouting Buhari, how Buhari was crying after he had lost election, that he made Buhari who Buhari is today. And now due to the build-up to Tinubu's election, Buhari is now coming out to do a lot of things that he knows is going to go against some move that Tinubu is trying to do. And recently, Tinubu was complaining. He said, let me show you guys the post. And guys, look at this. This is this day newspaper, verified a top newspaper in Nigeria. He said, Tinubu, petrol scarcity and Naira redesign ploy to sabotage my victory in the election. He's complaining that all the policies that Buhari is making now is to sabotage his chance of winning the election, is to frustrate him, forgetting that he's actually with the same party with Tinubu. Look at this. And leadership newspaper says, Naira redesign, fuel scarcity is targeted at me. That was what Tinubu said. And even Punch newspaper went on to talk about the same thing. The point is it true? Could this be true that Buhari is doing all these things to frustrate Tinubu? Could this be that the reason they are pushing and they are pressing us, they are forcing us, is to just frustrate Tinubu and everybody that have plans to actually rig the election or buy the election or use money and resources to frustrate Nigerians? Could Buhari be supporting Peter Obi or Atiku? Or could Buhari be aiming for a free and fair election? Honestly, me, I don't know. But guys, one thing I want you guys to do is to go to the comment section and tell me guys genuinely what you think about this. Do you think that this policy makes sense? And do you think the way the government is going about it makes any sense? Do you support Buhari, or do you think that this is totally foolish? While I'm going to go back to my drawing board, sit down to do more research on the disadvantages of this new Naira note policy, but for now, these are the benefits of the new Naira note policies, and this is what I think is playing on the ground. I hope you guys find this very insightful and you guys find this very interesting. If there's anything you think I need to know, just leave that in the comment section. I'm going to do it to answer each and every one of you. Bye for now, and I hope to see you in my next video.